Hi Scorpio, welcome to April 2019. Thank you so much for being here. Got a card already. Also welcome to Barbados. Obviously I don't have my whole regular setup here. We're making it work. So we have the Seven of Cups. Oh, what's going on? I think I kind of know, but like what's going on? What's happening is we're feeling the effects of Pluto starting to slow down in the sky. We're starting to feel the effects of that Pluto retrograde, plus in combination with a Mars in your natural 8th house in Gemini now. You know, there's, I think, this feeling of stewing. You're really just percolating. Things are in the works. You can feel it. You can feel change. You can feel yourself change. And you know what? Probably not a good time to really pounce on anything right now, because when we find ourselves here and we find ourselves confused about what to feel and confused about which direction to take, you know, confusion is not the right state of mind to be making major decisions or to be saying important things. We need peace for that. This is a tough energy, but also you guys handle it really well. This is actually a Scorpio card, right? Numbers 5, 6, and 7 associated with the fixed of their elements of fixed water. That's you guys. And whatever, you know, people often feel is like a burden, for you sometimes it kind of feels like home. Without that intensity in life, without that passion, without that drive, Scorpio's like, what's the point? Sometimes, Scorpio, you can cause this on your own. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes you can cause this. Sometimes you ignore your intuitional instincts because you don't want to believe it. And because without this, like, who are you? Scorpios that find peace are, without a doubt, the most warm-hearted, amazing people I've ever met. Scorpios that don't have peace are the ones that rip other people to shreds because they are so imbalanced, and balance being so important for you because of the Libra 12th house. Next card coming out is a great card for Scorpio, which is the High Priestess. This is your knowing, right? What is this? This is the knowing. Scorpio, what is it that you know? What is it that you've always known? Why do I feel like you've lost something? Why do I feel like something's been out of reach? Something is slippery. There's something in your life that you can't quite grab onto. And this is the year, right? Maybe not this month, but this is the year that all the reasons why you wanted that thing in the first place really becomes so clear. And this is the year that you actually let go of it for good. Saturn and Pluto. As Saturn and Pluto begin their retrogrades later in April, you know, you're going to have time to really sit with all the things that have been brewing inside of you for years. 12 years probably. And now is the time to make that substantial change. It's time to admit that all the things that are, the only things that are really needed are in here. That's it. That's the only place that any changes can occur and actually make some kind of a difference in your life. Why do I feel lost? I do. I feel loss. Yes, this card is disappointment, it's sadness, it's heartbreak, it's, oh, like someone just took a knife and stabbed you in the chest. I get it. But the beautiful thing about this card always is the rain in the back. Me being passionate about storm clouds. I love it. I love this card because of that reason. Because of how cleansing it is. It's like being dying of thirst and then finally getting to drink some water, you know. And I feel like in some part of your life, maybe you are in some kind of a drought. You know, here I am in Barbados in dry season, and all the locals keep talking about where's the rain, where's the rain, where's the rain. Well, Scorpio, here's the rain. And what rain brings is a whole new chapter. Look at all the blue in these cards, right? All the blue, which is such a Scorpio energy, which is, you know, very right-brained, very feminine, which we have the divine feminine coming through here. She comes through quietly and subtly, but like a tsunami at the same time. Can't really see it coming, but she comes with force. And you can't stop things from surfacing. You can't stop the feelings. You can't stop the way, you know, you can't stop your own growth. You can't stop your own awakening. That's something that life just does for you, takes care of you. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be. No matter what you have versus don't have, okay, this is the universe's way of intervening. Because what you have or don't have is a direct reflection of what's going on. So what you don't have that you want is probably a reflection of you actually pushing something away because you know you shouldn't have it and because you know it's bad for you. So you're stuck between this wanting and not wanting the same thing. Well, I think this is a month, and this was the same thing for Libra. Maybe you guys should watch the Libra reading, because I think anytime you watch the sign right before yours, which is your 12th house activity, it does kind of help add, you know, some content to what's going on back there, right? The part of you that's behind you, that's kind of steering everything. Like for me as a Virgo, I always watch Leo, always. And this for you guys is all about walking that fine line between the having and the not having, and finding freedom from both. This is the universe's way, and I definitely believe that nature is at play. Justice is a card of nature, honestly, is really what it is. It's a card of the scientific principles that are constantly at play. And even though it's becoming much more well-known, things like law of attraction, the power of mentalism, like all those kinds of things becoming very commercial and even corporate at this point, doesn't mean they're not true either, right? Manifestation is a real thing. But if you're not doing it consciously, you can manifest something that you think you want by pushing it away subconsciously. You know what I mean? How is it that we get the Three of Cups, the Three of Swords and the Two of Cups all at once? I think there's a transformative something happening here. There's a release of potential. There's a release of what could be, and just simply peace with what is. There's open communication here, so if you are dealing with another person, at the very minimum, this represents quality conversation, the bare minimum. At the maximum, this is love. At the maximum, this is, I think this is one of Scorpio's favorite things. This is that absolute soul level connection. But it's practical. Lovers, you know, can also represent something similar as well. But lovers is something that can easily come and go. It's very transient. However, this is more everlasting. There's a soul to soul quality though. So maybe somewhere in between those two extremes, right, the minimum and the maximum, maybe some of you are going to have to deal with just not in this lifetime. Maybe there is some kind of entanglement, there is some kind of unfinished business, there is past life connection, right? Maybe. So the more at peace that you can be with whatever is, the better this month is going to go. The better this Mars in your house is going to go. Mars likes to be where it's at, right? I mean, Mars loves to be in the 8th house. Your minds are going to be very active. You know, your souls are going to be very active. But it's time for transformation for you guys. What can I say? That's what Mars is now doing for you. That's how Mars is being of service. He's going down into the underworld and he's going to be winning some battles. That's what he does. He fights. So whether you're fighting the ego, whether you're fighting, you know, a part of yourself that's no longer serving, I mean, you're going to win. Mars always wins. So the Libra energy coming out really, really strong. And then also the Four of Swords coming through as well. Three of Swords, Four of Swords. There's progression. So much peace here. See, you guys are coming out like very Libra-esque. Very graceful, very elegant, total composure, beauty. You know, moving forward in life with a sense of aesthetic. And also a sense of justice. You're not surrendering, you're not giving up, you're not, you know, putting yourself at any kind of a base level. There's nothing but honesty coming through. There's no lying, no deception. Like, did I even put reversals in here? Yeah, I have reversals in here. There's no reversals coming out as of yet. So, I mean, everything is direct. Someone asks you a question, you're going to tell them whether or not they like the answer or not. Doesn't matter. Here you go. That's one thing people can rely on Scorpio for at this point in time is truth and authenticity. See, what I think is you have gotten to a point where you're just like, I do not have the energy to like pretend. You know, like you don't anyway. You're a sign of rawness. You're a sign of authenticity. But you can also really omit a lot of things. But this is not a month of omission. When someone comes at you and says, hey, Scorpio, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about me? Boom, there it is. Like, that's it. There's the truth. It's not to say it's without compassion. It's not to say it's without diplomacy, but it's real. And it has to be real, because anything not real would be just contributing, just continuing to put swords in. See, I just happened to see the bottom of the deck. You guys know I don't normally do that, but I just happened to see it. Nine of Swords reversed. And actually the Libra energy had 3 Nine of Swords cards coming out. So, okay. You're alleviating, if I can say the word, you're alleviating these swords. You're putting them in their place, and you are no longer going to be victimized by them. It's not a thing anymore. And so you just have to allow the healing time to really just happen. And meditation, super important. See, I love this card because it's so much about taking yourself out of the heat. Scorpio likes to be in the heat. It tends to be a little dramatic sometimes because it just likes the intensity, you know? But here you are taking yourself out of the fire. Because I just don't know that you don't have the energy. Because I think you know that something's brewing. You know that there's more. There's a new person on the horizon. There's a new love. There's a new job, a new location. Like, you know it. You know it. And I know you do. Oh, well, the Nine of Swords came out anyway, so here we go. So we get the Ace of Swords and the Hermit, and then again the Nine of Swords. So the knowing High Priestess, Ace of Swords. And see, you know, I feel like you've been recently humbled, because that is what the Ace of Swords often does. It humbles us with truth, which is why maybe perhaps you're having a hard time really committing to an emotion, because you can't be angry about it. You also can't really be happy about it. You can't be sad about it. You can't be jealous about it. Because actually, maybe it's not, like, there is no emotion to commit to. There's only just emptiness. There's only just what is. And again, you know it. Because if you were to be jealous, then you know it would be, like, what's the point? If you were to be happy about it, then, like, what's the point? If you were to be, like, revengeful, then what's the point? What's the point? So, with a substantial level of honor and pride, and dignity, right? Maintaining dignity. You seem to just distance yourself from the thing. You seem to just say, okay, because there's no fighting energy here, especially not with the Hermit, please. There's no fighting. There's no like trying at all. Scorpio, this is such a beautiful card for all three signs, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and even Sagittarius too. Of course, this is also very Sagittarian in nature, kind of that part of the sky, right? When we finalize that, right? Because Virgo represents the 6th house, which is about the perfection of self, because the first 6 houses of the zodiac are all representative of development, of understanding who you are. Before we can hit Libra, which is about relationships, and then we can transform through Scorpio and begin to have higher minds through Sagittarius, right? So like it's this kind of quadrant, houses 6 through 9, beautiful numbers too, where we acquire this wisdom. So you're at a stage of being wise. And a wise person says, okay, 9 of Swords, I see you. I acknowledge you, I feel you, it sucks, I don't like it, but who cares? Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not relevant, and just because I don't like it doesn't mean there's not a bigger picture here, and just because I can't see the whole thing doesn't mean that there isn't more to the whole thing. This is a time when you start to uncover your eyes, right? You take your hands off of your face and you start looking up toward the sunshine, because for you, it's not worth it to pretend. For you, it's not worth it to keep lying to yourself about something. You never were lying to yourself anyway. I think you just wanted something else to be true. That's all. You simply wanted something else to be true. So you guys, obviously I don't have my normal setup, so let me try to put my camera down here so y'all can see the cards. Give me just a minute to try to make it look kind of okay. Well, it's actually not that bad. So let me turn this around so you can see a little better the directionality. Okay. And then we'll draw a couple more from my other deck. This is the Golden Universal Tarot, which I love this deck. What else for Scorpio? Also no reversals in here. What else for Scorpio? 8 of Swords and the 6 of Coins. So we know that the 8 of Swords, see, for some reason I'm seeing beauty with these swords this month. I don't quite know why. I don't see these as being problematic at all. The reason they're not problematic is because you know what they are. And because there is no denial here. Like, denial is not an option. It's just not. Like, if you feel like if you're denying, you're not even, like, you're not even denying anything. It's just, it's so like, it's just not a possibility for you. It's just not. So 8 of Swords kind of is like an in spite of these thoughts going through my mind, in spite of these fears and these insecurities, and in spite of this and that, I'm choosing not to be affected by that. My mind, see, this is a time when Scorpio's heart is truly leading. And what happens when we lead with our hearts is we transcend the duality, because it is the mind that brings duality. Left brain thinking versus right brain thinking, the masculine and feminine, right? It is through the mind that duality occurs. But when you're not using your mind and you're tapping into the ultimate feminine, there is no place for mind. There is only a single point within the heart that guides, and it's the knowing. So when you deny the knowing, you simply deny yourself freedom. So I don't see you doing that this month. There's no denial here, Ace of Swords, none whatsoever. And see, There's always something that comes. These are such amazing, it's just absolute balance. There's just nothing but, like, it's gonna work out. Period. It's gonna work out. There's no possibility that it's not gonna work out. All right, Scorpio, give me 1 second. Let's get the reversals in there. Yeah. Now, let's start clarifying all of these. So these will be the cards that we talk about in the comprehensive reading. So if you want to join me there, of course, you are more than welcome. So let's take a look at the Seven of Cups. Chariot, beautiful. See, it's the higher self, without a doubt. Okay, so we got so many cards, but I will take them because I think they're relevant. Because at Seven of, see, we're getting Three of Swords, Six of Coins, both showed up here twice. I think there's pain with that Seven of Cups. You know, like, I don't know. Being a sign of power, being a sign of someone who always really likes to be in control. It is hard to have that Seven of Cups energy. Because you do like directionality. You are Mars ruled after all. Hanged Man, yeah, of course, Hanged Man, High Priestess. You are owed a gift, I believe. I think the universe owes you a gift. That's part of the Justice card. Why do I see a gift? Six of Cups, right? You're owed some kind of compensation because you've done so much work and you have moved on and you have changed so much. And for some reason, it's taking kind of an extra long time to really see the universal, life-changing benefits of that. Like if you are kind of someone notorious for like being attracted to a certain kind of I'm going to use romance because that's what most people are here for. You're attracted to certain kinds of inappropriate people, you know, like fuckboys or something. Sorry, not the best term, but it is what it is. And for whatever reason, you just can't seem to get one. And you're like, well, where's the good one? Well, I think the universe very much has you on that list of finding the good one. You know what I mean? What did I say? Knight of Cups, a good one. Pull another one for Queen of Swords. Oh, another Queen of Swords. Okay, beautiful. I actually love a Queen of Swords with an Emperor. Aries, Libra axis coming through there. Scorpio, I know you've had to make a lot of peace with your own demons recently. Why do I get this feeling that Scorpio is like, oh, I can't believe I'm back here again? Why do I get that feeling? What happened in your life that recycled or that was reverted? It's the same but different. You are swiftly moving through the Nine of Swords. Very swiftly. Because you seem to have graduated from something, as I see with that King of Coins. You've graduated from being a victim of your darkness to being in absolute command of your darkness. Okay. I know I pull out tons of cards. In the comprehensive, we do talk about, we do talk for another like 20, 25 minutes. So these are the cards that we'll go over. If you want to join me there, the information will be down below. If not, then I will see you next month. All right, thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.